Okay, hello everyone that is on this video here with me this evening. I'm sorry, I'm going to try to monitor from my phone. I didn't think to charge up my tablet. But today we are going to go through how to set up your Aweber autoresponder. I know there's other autoresponders out there. Well, first let me apologize for being a little late. Had some technical difficulties, but we are good to go now. But yeah, I know there are other autoresponders out there, such as Get Response, MailChimp, and there's others. But I use Aweber, and it's been working really well for me. When I train my clients, I train them on Aweber as well. So I wanted to show you how you can set up your Aweber account. Before we get into that, let me apologize for being a little hoarse. I think all that dust in Las Vegas has got me my throat a little scratchy. I guess I'm about to get me some hot tea in this hot weather to get that worked out. But the purpose of an autoresponder, it's for many reasons, but some of the reasons that I use it are, I want to be able to follow up with my leads and my prospects myself, on top of the follow-up that my affiliate companies provide. I want them to know who I am, let them know that I'm here to help and support, and I want to brand myself with my leads and prospects outside of that company in the event I ever choose to go to a different company. So for example, my company that I was with in 2015 was temporarily shut down by the, oh my goodness, looks like we shut down temporarily. Don't want to end. Says I have internet access. Let's try this again. Live video. Okay. All right, so we had some technical difficulties. I hope they are worked out. I see you can hear my voice. I hope you can see my screen. Let's see if I can get this to open up. I hope I'm streaming and recording right now. Just gonna make sure everything's working properly. All right, looks like we're going. Okay, so sorry about the technical difficulties. Thank you for hanging in there with me. This is a training, and I will respect your time and end as close to 7:30 as possible. I'll try to monitor any questions or comments via my phone because my tablet is dead. However, this video is on how to set up your Aweber autoresponder. So before we get into this training, which is actually really quick, the reason why you need an autoresponder is because you want to be able, you want to be able to follow up with your leads and prospects outside of the company that you represent. You want to be able to brand yourself with your leads and your prospects outside of the company that you represent. That is how you become considered an expert and an authority in your field. You also want to be able to manage your own email list. In the event something happens with the company that you're with, if you don't have access to those emails, you have now lost your entire business. There was an affiliate company that was actually shut down earlier this month in June by the FTC because they, whatever practices they were doing, the FTC felt they needed to investigate. And if the people who are in that company did not have their email list, they no longer have access to those customers. So when you have your own autoresponder, you are in control of your access to your companies, to your customers. And the reason why I chose Aweber is because when I looked at the platforms available, Aweber was the easiest for me, but there are others such as GetResponse, MailChimp, and others that I might not know about. But Aweber works best for me, and that's what I teach my clients. So, without further ado, let's get started with today's training on how to set up your Aweber autoresponder. Looks like my screen share is on. All right, so this is Aweber. You will have to set up an Aweber account. So if you go into Aweber.com, you'll set up your account with Aweber. I would suggest the basic account. Even if you are not ready to manage and take over your list, you still want to be on this training or save this training. So when you are ready, then you'll know how to get started. So the way Aweber works is you create a list. So let's go into Manage Lists. And you will create a list. It's really super easy. So you'll set up your list. You'll give it your company name. My name is Success with Cecilia. That's what my brand is. You'll put your website there. If you don't have a website, it is really easy to create one. You can go to GoDaddy.com or any other domain hosting sites, and you will be able to get a website. You don't have to physically have a website set up, but you do need a domain name, and this is what is called a domain name. So as I said, if you type in get a domain name in Google, there will be many sites that come up where you can buy a domain name that is very, very inexpensive. You do have to have an address. That is a requirement. And you will need your name and then your email. Your email is set up with the domain name that you pick. So my domain name is successwithcecilia.com. My email is cc@successwithcecilia.com. So that is page 1 of setting up your list. So then you want to give this list a name. You want to name it something that is meaningful for you. So, for instance, let's just say I want to set up a list for my power lead systems. And then you want to give it a description. The reason why you want to give this description is because, I'll click where, your subscribers will see this if they choose to unsubscribe at a later date. Providing a brief and straightforward description of your list helps them understand what they're unsubscribing from. Suppose also that you have multiple lists and someone wants to unsubscribe from one of them. They'll be shown all lists and asked which they want to unsubscribe from. Describing each of your lists helps the person decide which list, if any, they want to remain subscribed to. So, for example, I will describe this list. Just a brief description, something that tells them what this list is about. Go to the next step. Language is English. Subject line, confirm your subscription. I don't do anything with that. I always leave it the same. I don't do anything here with the message content because I don't send them a confirmation message. We'll talk about that here in a second. So I want to approve, message, and create list. So I don't do anything on this page except make sure it says English and then confirm your subscription. But once again, I'm going to show you why that's not necessary. So approve and create. All right, so now you want to go to list options because we went to manage list and then we went to create over here on the left. All right, so manage list. I'm in Power Lead Systems. So I have a lot of lists. As you can see, when you're starting out, you'll just have the one list. But you always want to make sure that you are in the list that you want to look at the options for. So Power Lead Systems is the one. So I want to look at Power Lead Systems. That's its unique ID. There's my description. It's from me, and here's my email address. There's my address. Notifications. For me, I like to set up notifications so that way I am notified when people come into my list. And my email again, successwithcecilia.com. So what happens is anytime somebody opts into my list, I will get an email at this address telling me, hey, Jane Doe just opted into your list. So I'm going to click add. That's been added to the notifications, and I'm going to save these settings. So everything has been updated for basic settings. So now let's go to personalize your list. So there's the only thing that I do here is I added my Twitter account and I added my Facebook account. So when you personalize your settings, if you have Twitter, you can add Twitter, and then you can also add Facebook. I don't do anything with snippets, and I don't think it's necessary for you to do anything with that either. So all that looks good. I don't do an email email signature. It has my company name and my website already populated. If you have a logo, you can add your logo. All right, so I'm going to say, actually, you know what? I do have a logo, so let's upload my logo. I'll choose a file. Just to show you how this works if you have one. Let's see. I'll go with this one. And upload. So now there's my logo. And I'll click Save Settings. And then the next thing is we want to talk about the confirmation message. So we got English, confirm your subscription. All that is what's set up before. But I always turn off send confirmation. So what that means is if someone opts into your list, what'll happen is Aweber will then send them an email that they will have to answer to confirm that they want to be opted into your list. I turn this off. I don't want that on because what happens with that is that if you send a confirmation message, you'll probably get a higher quality lead because they've done what we call a double opt-in. They've entered their email, and then they've went to their email to say, yes, I want to get emails from Cecilia Morris. But if it's turned off, then they'll because if it's turned on and they don't answer their email, they will not be added to your list. But if it's turned off and they've entered their email, they will be added to your list. However, it doesn't end here, so let me click Save Settings. All right, so now everything's been saved the way I want it for Power Lead Systems, but there's one more step. You want to go to Help. And you want to select technical question. List name is Power Lead Systems. Please select the question type. It's other. And you want to send an email. Please remove the double opt-in list. Now I'm not going to click this because I'm not keeping this list. But when you send this help request, what will happen is the help desk will send you an email saying, one email saying they got your request, and then once they remove the double opt-in, then they'll send you an email letting you know the double opt-in has been removed. So just because we did it with a confirmation message here, it will not be turned off until you send this request to the help desk telling them to remove the double opt-in from that list. All right, so now your new list is set up. So what do you want to do with this list? Well, what you want to do with this list, we're going to now go to messages. And as you can see, we don't have any messages in this list. But what you want to do is, this is where you can create personalized email messages to send to people that have opted in for whatever lead magnets you offered them, and they've given you their email address saying, yes, I want your lead magnet. Here is my email. They are now on your list. So I'm going to go to another one of my lists that I have set up that has a lot of emails in it, or messages, excuse me. So these are some of the draft emails that I have in here that I can pick up at any time. But most importantly, what you want to do is you want to set up the legacy follow-up series. Now with the legacy follow-up series, as soon as someone opts in for the lead magnet that I have that goes to this list, they're going to get day one, let's get you started. They'll get that one immediately. And then they'll get another email for the next 9 days. And I set these up. And then after that, actually they get another email for the next 14 days every day. And then I start sending emails every 2 days. And then I start sending them emails every 3 days. The reason why I increased the frequency of when they receive emails is because if they're not opting in or taking action within the first 15 days of seeing my emails every day, I don't want to keep sending them emails every day, but I don't want them to forget about me. So as you can see in this follow-up, and all this happens automatically, it's already set up. So in this follow-up series, there's 69 emails that are already set up, and these emails will go out on the schedule, the 3 days, the 2 days, the 1 day that I have set up to everyone that is opted into this particular list. And what I have set up is called the sharing code. So if you're on my team and you set things up the way that I train, that I do with my clients, I would send you this sharing code. So let me show you how the sharing code works. So I'm going to copy the share code. I'm going to go back up to Power Lead Systems. And you see I'm in the legacy follow-up series. Let's see. So let's go to, I think it's, no, let's see what happens. Okay. Don't have a campaign set up. So let me go back to legacy follow-up series. I'm still in Power Lead Systems. Legacy follow-up series. And I want to go to follow-up sharing. I'm going to paste that code. Now I'm going to say load follow-up series. So it's thinking. All right. So now, oh, it says it's failed. Let me see what I did wrong. Paste. Oh, I had a space up front. Load. This may take a second. I'll get a drink of water. Still says it's failed. It might be that it's too big. However, once again, this is the bigger one. I've got a smaller list. Let me see if I use this one. And let's go back to Power Lead Systems. Is thinking my internet connection has been acting up today. That's why we started a little late. So once again, thank you for your patience. Sorry about my internet connection. Once again, thank you very much for your patience. Let's see if I do this. All right, so we got that. And there's Power Lead System. So there. And then let's go Legacy Follow-Up Series. I apologize again. Can't do much about it, but thank you for watching and hanging in there. Okay. Well, I'm not going to keep you on dealing with this since it's not being. Let me see if we go to drafts. Okay, it says I don't have anything there. So, okay, so now let me do legacy. Okay, well, you get the general idea. Once again, if you're on my team, I can help you with this. I think it's more my internet connection. So let's look at some of my other lists that are in here. So here's another legacy follow-up series, if it opens, that I have set up. So on this one, I've got 13 messages. And I start with immediately, and then I just send them one every 3 days because I know the affiliate company that I'm with is sending them 2 a day. I just want them to know who I am. So how do you create a message? So when you have your new list, let's go back to this one. You can click on create a message. 7:30, we started a little late, so thank you for your patience. I always use the drag and drop email builder. So within the drag and drop, you type in your subject here. If you have their name, you can have them put their first name in there by default. It's been shown that most people open emails that have their name in them. So that's a plus. And then here you can type in whatever message that you want. You can highlight and pick different fonts. If you want, the fonts that are available, you can pick the size of your font, different sizes. You can bold, italicize, same as everything. You can create links. So if I want to link the questions, the word questions, hypothetically, I'll hit the link button and then I'll type in the URL. I'm just going to type this in here for example purposes and click OK. It'll tell me that's good. When it gives me the green check, I'll click OK. And now that's the link that people can click on when they get the email. You can add an image. And then you can click and you can look at your, if you already, well, you have to add images as you go, but there's images already in there, so you can add an image. You can add a video. And if you have a URL to a video, you can put that URL in there and the video will pop up. I can give you an example, hopefully. Oops, no, that's not what I want to do. Go back. Yeah, that's what I thought. Go back. If you have a video, like I said, you can put the video URL, so you can just open up a new tab, go to YouTube or wherever that video is. It could even be a Facebook video for that matter. You can type that link in there as well. I usually don't use buttons too much in emails, but you can. If you have a signature, you can set that up and throw that in there. That's my signature by default. It's using my name and my email address that we set up when we have the list. I always encourage people to add a picture of themselves because, once again, it's all about personal branding. So once you're done with this email, we'll just put a test. You can preview and test, but I usually don't. Sometimes I do to see what it looks like. We'll just click save and exit for the purpose of time. All right, so now here's the email that I just created. It's got my name, it's got unsubscribe, my address, and even though we didn't change anything, but whatever you want to put in there, it'll all be in there. So now what will happen is whenever someone opts into your list, they will then either get whatever you set up with the Legacy follow-up series, or you can send this as a broadcast. So say I was having a meeting today, like I had this one at 7 o'clock. I can send a broadcast. I can schedule a broadcast to go out to this list. I can pick the time and the day. Say I want to do it tomorrow. I want to do it tomorrow at 10 a.m. I can click apply. So now this email that we just created will go to this list tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I usually don't want the quick stacks to be emailed to me because I can always come back to Aweber and check it out. I'm not going to save this because I really don't want it. So let's get rid of that. And that is the quick and dirty tutorial on how to set up Aweber. So some of the other things that I wanted to show you, once you really start getting going with your list, and this is a little advanced, some of the things that I do, I'm going to go to this one, is and this is where you want to make sure that you are, this is how you get your emails from one list to another list. So I'm going to add subscribers. I'm going to import. And I already downloaded this yesterday. So you will download from whatever list you have. It has to be a CSV file. Excel, but it's a .csv. Cat, Sam, Victor. Downloads. This is it. I'm going to click next. It's got date, reference, email, first name. Click next. And usually, because Aweber wants to make sure that you're not importing a list from some list that you brought, they're going to ask you where it came from. So I always put in these people opted to. So that way they know that these people are real people. I'm not bringing it over from another email provider. I'm going to click next. And then I'll say no, because, oh wait, yeah, okay. I'm going to click yes, because this does have a legacy follow-up series set up. And as soon as I bring them over, I want them to get this first email, which is a video. I'm going to click next. No, I do not want them to opt in again. I'm going to click next. And I never do tags, so finish import. I need to better understand the whole tagging part. All right, so they're going to think about this, and I usually never have any problems. So when you look at my import history for this particular list, as you can see, I've done a lot of imports with this list. So when they get done importing this list, they'll get added. Let's go back to messages, the legacy follow-up series. And this will be the first email that they get as soon as Aweber uploads them into this list. And this will go out to them automatically. I don't need to do anything else. Not only will they get this list, we'll save and close. Save and exit, rather. So they'll get that one immediately. 3 days later, they'll get this one. 3 days later, 3 days later. So they'll get a total of 12 times 3 is 36. They'll get a total of 37 days worth of emails from me that are already set up, all because they've opted into my list, or in this case, because I've dragged them over from another service that I have. So in the event the other service, which is my affiliate program, goes down or something happens, I now have control over this list. And what I'll also do, and then we'll go ahead and end it here, because I want to be respectful of your time. Thank you for giving me the full 30 minutes. So now this is my list, and if I want to, I can export this list as a CSV to an Excel file, which I do periodically, because Aweber might go down as well. So I could lose my affiliate program and I could lose Aweber. But what I won't lose are all 1,628 emails. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. Once again, I do apologize for the technical difficulties. I appreciate your time. Let me go back. Unfortunately, you know, at Facebook, I cannot show my face at the same time. So thank you very much for watching. Oops. Are you freaking serious? I haven't been live the whole time. No, cancel. I don't know if you can still hear me or not. It says, I think when I stop screen share, I stopped the video. All right. All right. Oops.